Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining in this early morning. My name is Krisztián Szabo, and I'm an international chess grandmaster. Are you all of you playing in the tournament? Excellent. Okay, so for waking up, I came with some studies for you. I'm sure you already saw some interesting for them. Let me show you the first one here. So this is the first position. I will do a little bit interactive workshop with you, so I will make questions and you can answer without any problems. Okay, if you have some idea why to play in this position, and what do you think? What should I do? Do you see clearly? Okay, no problem. You can just sit where it is the most comfortable. So what can we see in the current position? Black is a little bit better, yes, because he has an exchange up. And even the b3 bishop is also in under attack. So what do you think, what should we do here with white? Just escaping with the bishop, try to find something special way, maybe resign immediately. So what would be the best here? What is the first thing what we usually think in a position?
Maybe check.
Checks, yes. Chess,
And captures.
captures, and the third? Attack, yes. Check, captures, attack. These are the most important rules in every position, yes? Every middle game. And end game, so many times. Can we somehow use in here also? Is it a check? Nobody's threatening with me. Yes. First of all, let's start with the checks. Yes, because okay, rook h1. Maybe he will play something like g6. Yes.
Queen takes h7.
Sacrifice the queen immediately.
Yes,
Okay.
King takes and rook h1 checkmate, right? Or am I wrong?
Something like that. But are you sure rook h1 is checkmate already? So queen takes, king takes. Rook h1,
I feel like, yes.
and the king can't go back to the original square.
Oh, yes.
But it's very important to don't stop, because maybe it was good.
Yeah, there is knight c6, right?
Bravo, excellent. So you solved this together very well, nice. So let's see what is the point. So we sacrifice we don't have enough material disadvantage. Yes, we even sacrifice the queen. He takes back, yes. Then give a check, king g8, and you said knight g6, amazing move. Thanks for this pin. And he cannot avoid the checkmate on h8. Excellent. Why this is not so obvious and we can't find so easily at the beginning? Because we don't think generally for a queen sacrifice. Yes, we want to save our pieces and don't sacrifice. But what I can recommend you, even in the game, so a little bit think about that. It not means that play immediately and sacrifice the queen because it's a check, but very, very important to consider at least. Did you hear about that? What the third world champion? Who was the third world champion? Do you know that? Kapolnak. Okay, and the fourth? Alekhine, yes, Alekhine. He was the fourth. He said he was a very tactical player, and he said a very nice, I don't say principle, is just his sentence was that, like he said that when I can put one of my piece to a square where many opponent piece attacks, I always consider that, because he just wanted to force himself for that, a little bit think like the others, differently than the others. Yes, a little bit out of our comfort zone. Because the normal moves everybody can find, yes, so it's a very natural move like a4, he attacked the bishop, bishop escapes to c4. If we ask somebody from the street, yes, who knows the chess moves, almost everybody will play that, because that is a general for us, yes, like piece is hanging, let's escape with that. But King takes h7 is already not, because it's not that's why, because it's impossible to find, because only 3 moves. That's why, because our brain doesn't think like that, because we are just careful with our pieces. Okay, let me show you the next one. Okay, this will be, the previous was a game anyway, a chess game. This will be absolutely a study. Do you know what is the difference between a normal puzzle and study? What does it mean, the study in chess?
Study is a composed position.
Exactly, yes. Study is composed by someone, and the normal puzzle combination that is usually came from a chess game. Why to play here? Very original position, yes, not a very typical one. So, but we also should be genius to do something here. Let's see what would be the right way. What?
Why to play, right?
Why to play, yes, yes. What kind of material down we have?
We're down
Yes?
minor pieces.
Yes, yes, so it's 2 bishops, 2 knights, yes? And?
The pawns.
2 pawns even, yes. These 2 pawns also pretty dangerous, yes, threatening with promotion immediately. But how can we maybe manage to win the game? Also, the first thing what we are starting to thinking, that is? Checks, yes, checks, exactly. Also, the beautiful thing in this is that we don't play the most natural check, yes?
We were thinking about maybe rook b3.
Rook b3, actually that is kind of natural. Okay, let's calculate a little bit. Rook b3 check, what will black play after that?
Rook takes b3.
Okay,
Knight takes b3.
excellent.
King b4.
Okay,
And rook takes a4.
yes.
But then there is a lot of pieces for the queen.
Yeah, and moreover, he will also promote after the simplifying, yes? He will promote, and probably that won't be enough, but okay, let's check. So check, takes, king b4, take it, yes? Otherwise what? Takes, and at the end, unfortunately, he has this, yes? And we are losing at the end. Okay, but of course we should start with this. Let's see now let's be brilliant now. This was the kind of natural check, yes, because we just exchanged the rooks. Something deeper way? As we discussed, sometimes no problem if we sacrifice a little bit more valuable piece. Queen b3. Okay, and if the rook takes? Okay, king b4. King a5. King b6. Can you repeat? And then king a7. Yes, excellent. And the pawn is just taking everything in zigzag, yes? Queen b3, excellent. Also, we don't think on this first, yes, because sacrifice the queen. So the rook move was much more natural, but we can realize that this rook is much more useful than the queen was here if we compare. Yes? Compare these 2 positions. The rook is just more useful because that is supporting the pawn. These 2 rooks are the most valuable pieces here. Yes? Takes. Check. All of them are checks. We take everything at the end, rook or pawn to takes a8 and nice checkmate. Bravo, excellent. Okay, let me show you the next one. This will be also a study, but this is called an endgame study because, of course, it is an endgame. This is not those kind of endgame like couldn't come out in any games. It's a very natural position. And why to play here? What do you think? Do we have some chances to... Okay, win we can't. Yes?
G7, King H7, G6, King H6,
Okay.
King F7, and the rook has to move when you promote one of the pawns and promote the other, right?
But what about if I take your G7 pawn after that at the end? Because my king is on H6 and I...
Then you promote the other one.
But check, it's check. I take for check. Your king is on F7.
Oh, it's on F7.
So let's say check, you said here. You said G6, King H6, and you said King F7, right? Yes. And then take the pawn, check, and I will take even that also after that. So finally I win all of the pawns. But we have to start the thing like this, because check. What can still we imagine here? In the endgames, we can also think like we can exclude the moves. Exclude means that I can cut some things. For example, is it logical to move with the king? No. When he has king f7, he gives check and take the pawn, so that's impossible. Is it logical to promote the a pawn? No, yes, not at all. So we don't have so many options. G5 pawn we can't move, yes? G7, so G7 is kind of obvious. And King H7, let's think after that. Then of course we have already several options, so we should decide what to do. Somehow with a very nice motif we can save and survive the game. Why to play also? We will see a little similarity. How can we also survive this? Because, okay, winning is not possible, that we can consider quickly. So what to do here? Also, what are the logical moves what we will consider at the beginning? G7 or? Yeah, those two. So not the king, yes? Don't move with the king because it's no any point of that. So one of the pawns should move. Okay, G7. What will he play after G7? Okay, let's say rook G2. He has even rook C2 check as well.
Yeah, to drive away the king.
Yes, a little bit. Okay, let's go one by one. So G7, rook C2 check. King D7, okay. But then I go behind the pawn. And I will take it for check. Yeah? Yeah, King D8 is same. So we are here. G7 and rook C2 check. So also go towards the corner, okay? Also not a principled move, he has to go in front of the pawn, but we already know that is not sure. It is bad, so rook G2. But wait, if you also the move order we have to be careful. B7, because if King A8, I take this pawn, yes? So B7 first. I have to take your pawn. and then king a8. And is it familiar? Like the previous example, yes? So check, g7, check, king goes here, rook g2, b7, takes, king a8. And the same motif like the previous example. Okay, there are extra pawns here, but it doesn't matter right now. And we are on the queen side to do the same motif. Okay, all right, this we solved. How about after g7 if I play rook g2?
And then B7.
Okay, you push b7. I take the pawn.
And queen and this queen's fewer than rook g8, king to c7.
Yes.
To queen and king takes the queen.
Yes, and I come here and I want to go very quickly here and take the pawn. This is the extra compared to the previous example. I have this motif because, yeah, there are pawns here. What is giving chances for black. So g7, rook g2, this is the critical point.
I think maybe in that one endgame, the white king can get to f2, and after the black king takes the pawn to lock the king.
Okay, very, very good idea. But let's see how to reach that. So, what is your exact move after rook g2? b7, yes?
Yes.
b7, okay, rook takes g7,
B8,
b8.
check, king c7.
Okay, so I take, and
Not king c7, maybe king b7.
but then you can't take back my rook.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, my arrows are so good now. So rook g2, b7 takes, b8 here, king c7, rook takes b8, king takes b8, and king b6. So I come here, I don't want to allow your king so quickly. And okay, how do okay, king c8, king c6, king d8, okay, king d5. E, D, king d7, king e4, king, let's say d6, king f3, king e5, king g2, and we can't reach the f2 square finally, yes? King f4, king takes h2, the king can go to only f3, but this is just losing because king g1, yes. But I can tell you, you are very close to the solution. Very, very close. It will, after some time, it will come out another study. What is a typical study? And that could be also separate example, but now we mixed with this. I'm sure you already saw some similar like the right move will be, but yeah, from now it's not really easy to find. Also, let's see until which move it was it forced. Like, next move was still forced? Yeah, kind of, yes, because no stalemate, we take the pawn. So b7, rook takes g7. Okay, let me play the moves. Takes. Also, do we have any stalemate motif? No, we don't have here. We are just simply far from there. So B8 is very logical. But okay, what should we promote?
Promoting to a knight is a check.
Yeah, it's a check, but not too much. Yes. Knight, king comes here, and we will lose it. Okay, if there wouldn't be pawns, it would be good, but there are, unfortunately. So the rook has a huge advantage compared to the knight here. So let's say queen, yes, the only logical. Then check. King c7 was also forced. Rook takes the queen, king takes, and king b6. So I come here instead of the b5. And I think maybe from here, if you would start the example from here, I think you could solve easily. It's a very, very typical pawn endgame, where we also will use a little bit the, how to say that? Yes, the different thinking, yes, so go out of our comfort zone and go to the other side, yes, come here with the king, because this is the way how I can reach the f2 square later. Let's say king c5, king b7, okay, let's calculate, king d4, king c6, king e3, king d5, king f2, king e4, king g2, king e3, king takes h2, and we reach the f2 square finally and draw, yes. So chess is, that's why they say that it's an art, because you can find this kind of motifs like in normal case, in the general life, how can we imagine that if we want to reach this square, this is faster if I go to the opposite side. It's not a normal thing, yes? So that's why the general thing is that, like go to c8, yes, and that way, but just that is not good, because the king, do you know what is the name of this motif, what the black king does? Shouldering, yes, with his shoulder, it stabbed the king, very nice. So king a8, and now he cannot do anything, now there is no shouldering. And draw, excellent, okay. Let's do the next one. Okay, this is also a very smart study. Here white to play, and now we should win this. What can we see here? What would happen if we would win all three black pawns? Then class bishop versus rook. It's a draw generally. There are winning positions, but generally that is draw. So if we are talking about a study, then that wouldn't be enough. He has to take the pawns. Maybe we should win his rook. That would be already a bit better. This will be also full of very smart motifs. Bishop e3, very logical, you attack the rook.
And the rook goes back.
Okay.
Rook to h8, king has to go to c7.
Okay. But are you sure after bishop e3, his only move is playing with the rook? b6 or b5 check, yes, and the rook will come out. And even if we win all pawns, also draw. Yes? So, otherwise the study would be too easy. Yes, if we just attack the rook and win in the next move. So, let's see what can still we do.